Hello, I'm Jordan, the counselor, LPC, LMFT, and supervisor for both. And this is my series breaking down the experiential therapy of Fritz Perls, working with a woman who is afraid of therapy. Let's dive in.
Sure, we're playing games, but in spite of the games, I think I've touched you now and then. I think I heard you when I called your phone.
Well, of course you did.
And I think I hit the bullseye. That's why you feel hurt.
I don't know. All I know is when I feel the way I feel with you right now,
Now,
it's like you don't have feeling.
now exaggerate this. What you just did.
Like
That's it. Now talk to me like
I
this.
can't. I want to laugh. I'd like you to be younger than me so I could really scold you.
How old must I be?
My age, 30.
I've said this before, but it's always sort of strange to me that Gloria is going along with Fritz's directives, even though she's so angry. I mean, she's really angry, but she still goes along with his directives. So he says, "How old must I be?" He's trying to evoke another enactment out of her. Then she goes with it.
Good, I'm 30 now. Imagine I'm 30. And now you scold me.
Okay. Don't be so cocksure yourself. Don't think you're so doggone smart. Don't act so proud because you've never been in the corner. I think you can be just as big a phony, parading around like you're so damn smart and you know all the answers as much as me sitting in my corner. Oh, and I like the feeling of you being younger. I'd like to embarrass you.
Yeah. Embarrass.
See, she goes right with it. For someone who's so angry with him, it's strange to me that she goes with his directives so readily.
Well, you wouldn't get embarrassed. You seem unaffected.
Tell me, embarrass me. Tell me how old, how ugly I am.
You don't look old and ugly. You look distinguished. And that's all the more on your side. If you look so distinguished, then see, that's more on your side, too.
Well, Gloria, can we say one thing? We had quite a good fight.
No, I know. No.
I
don't think you're fighting with me.
But I felt you came out quite a bit.
See, I think this is the problem, right? Is that I don't think she's actually... One of the things that took me a long time to realize, which is sort of silly now, but I think it's actually true for a lot of therapists, is that people will often talk about one thing, but there's another deeper thing they're actually asking for. The classic example of this is in couples therapy, where, let's say one partner is saying, "I'm so mad at you that you weren't there for me when I had that big event that happened. I'm so mad at you that you weren't there for me when my dad died," right? And on the one level, they're sort of saying, like, "I'm really upset with you," but they're actually saying, "I really needed you, and I needed your support, and I needed to be close to you," right? So on the surface, there's this sort of attack, but underneath, there's this bid for connection. This can happen in any variety of different ways, but the idea is that there's one thing you're asking for or you're sort of doing on the surface, but there's a different emotional ask underneath. And I think that's what's happening with Gloria here, is that she's showing us anger, but what she actually wants is to be close to Fritz. She actually wants him to really be connected to her. And so I think it takes the bite out of her anger. I think it's part of why keeps trying to get him why she keeps going with his directives.
Well, I'm mad at you.
Wonderful.
But you seem so detached. You don't even seem to care that I'm mad at you.
See, this is what I'm talking about.
I feel like you're not recognizing me at all, Dr. Perls, not a bit.
This is quite true. Our contact is much too superficial to be involved in caring. I care for you as far.
See, Fritz picks up on it right away. Our contact is much too superficial for us to be involved in caring. He picks up, that's what you're really asking me to do, and it's too superficial for us to really do that.
As let's see, you're right now my client. I care for you as far as I like to, like an artist, bring something out which is hidden in you. This is as far as I care.
The other thing that I think is really interesting in this, which begins to explain a lot, is Fritz is doing what researchers call being very charismatic or persuasive. And basically, this is the set of skills that actually allows you to get out of the resistance. So I learned this from a buddy of mine, Alex Vosh, who basically watched a bunch of tapes of therapists who really evoked resistance in a lot of their clients. Right? The clients were basically constantly saying no, no, no. Clients were always angry at the therapist. And they would have this moment in the session where the therapist would totally flip the session. And Alex was like, how are these therapists doing this? How are these therapists evoking clients being angry and rupturing the alliance? And then there's like this big reversal, and suddenly everything changes and the client has this massive breakthrough. And what he basically came up with was that these therapists are very charismatic or persuasive. You can use different words for it. Now, by this, we don't mean that they are manipulative. Like, they aren't intentionally doing these things, but they are doing something that allows them to take all the energy of the negative rupture and flip it towards change. And Fritz is beginning to do some of those things right here. So they call this the therapist. My friend Alex, he developed this therapist persuasiveness rating scale. And there were a few things that they found out that they do. The first is that the therapist stimulates the client's emotional arousal. So whether it's hot emotions like anger or frustration, or deep emotions like sadness, right? Whatever happens in all these sessions, the therapist gets the client to be very emotional, right? So that's one thing that Fritz is doing. Something else that Fritz is doing is his body language, right? The therapist is non-verbally expressive. For example, using the forward trunk lean, facial expressions, body movements, and gestures. The therapist also expresses him or herself through an affect-responsive tone of voice. Therapist maintains eye contact and is verbally fluent, communicates with confidence, ease, and clarity. And if you watch, Fritz does all of those things in this moment, right? Gloria makes a bid for connection.
But you seem so detached. You don't even seem to care that I'm mad at you.
There's a forward trunk lean.
I feel like you're not recognizing me at all.
It's really slow.
Not a bit.
This is quite true.
The voice gets
Our
softer.
contact is much too superficial to be involved in caring. I care for you as far as, let's see, you're right now my client. I care for you as far as I like to, like an artist, bring something out which is hidden in you.
This is a, let's see if I can show it here. There we go. He's communicating this with ease, confidence, clarity. So it's very persuasive.
As far as I care.
Well, I'd like to feel that there's it's frustrating. If I were to leave you right now and not see you again, it would frustrate me to feel like there hadn't been more contact. I feel completely out of contact with you. Like I'm talking to the baby that doesn't understand me or something like that. I don't feel like we're a bit in contact, and that frustrates me.
Look at the eye contact, right? Maintain eye contact with the client. I mean, he's doing a lot of the things on this persuasiveness rating scale that would say, oh, this is actually how you keep clients engaged and are big factors in flipping these sessions around from negative sessions into positive sessions. So look, I don't know what happens after this, but I think it begins to explain some of the magic of Fritz Perls. He's known for being a very charismatic and influential therapist. And at least in this case, maybe it explains this weird connection between Gloria and him. Because she's already saying, I see you as like this sort of expert who's sort of detached, and I really want your approval. And you have that kind of personality. Meeting with someone who is not intentionally, but is doing these sort of cues of charisma and persuasion, it's easy to see why she's getting drawn in more and more to him. Look, I'm Jordan the Counselor. If you enjoy these sort of breakdowns, you can find me at jordanthecounselor.com, and feel free to subscribe to my newsletter. Otherwise, I'll see you soon.